Okay, a lot. So in today's video, I will quickly try to talk about various different shops in this game and what sort of items you should prioritize buying in them, right? So for now, I'm gonna be covering 4 main shops that hold like the most important currencies. So first of all, it will be this cat shop in the town, right? Next up, it will be the battle shop, because I know the currencies here are very premium and it might be a bit confusing on what to buy. Next up, I'll also be covering the event shop, right? Events are really have very similar items, but especially when starting out, I'll try to give some insight of what would be the best items to prioritize, right? Because eventually you can clear out the whole shop if you just spend enough stamina, but if you can't, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a breakdown of which items you should prioritize. And lastly, I'll be talking about the arena shop as well. That one is pretty simple, but I still want to give a little bit of insight on what to buy. Again, keep in mind that this is in my opinion, right, based on the experience of me playing this game for quite a few months now, right? The final decision, again, is up to you based on how much you spend, how much you play, all of that, right? And yeah, if you want to use timestamps below, feel free to skip to any of the shops that you want to look at, right? And yeah, let's go. Okay, and the first shop I'll be covering is this little cat shop right here, right? So in this one, I believe the items update every 2 hours. You can also update them by spending 10 currency, but personally wouldn't recommend to do it unless you are a spender, right? And the items you can get are pretty much like everything in this game. You can get various different gear, various different upgrade materials. You can get both type of summons, you can get energy or like stamina bubbles, all of that, right? Here's the deal though. All of the items, this includes even the summons, even the stamina items, right, are very, very overpriced, right? Like extremely overpriced. We're looking like 50,000. Like you can get this amount by just entering the stamina dungeon like once or twice, right? And the 54,000 price for it is definitely not justifiable. So overall, in this shop, right, in my opinion, you should not be buying anything ever, with one very, very small exception, right? I'm not sure how it works based on Kaleido rank, because by now I am Kaleido rank 10, so everything is pretty much maxed out, right? If you are someone who is only like Kaleido rank 3, 4, or something like that, and you haven't unlocked that tier gear yet, but what I mean by that is this type of gear, right? Basically that tier, the highest tier available in the game. If you do see some show up in the shop, I would say for like the first week or so of you playing, I would maybe recommend grabbing that, because the difference, even the difference between yellow and red tier gear is like 20% in terms of just raw stats, right? Not even looking at the set. The difference between red tier and even lower tiers is gonna be even higher, right? And eventually once you unlock red tier gear, you will, with time, stop using any other gear apart from that, right? If you look at my units, as you can see, all of them are red tier gear, because the yellow tier gear is just so inefficient compared to it that even a sort of like badly placed set can be much better than a full perfect yellow set, right? So yeah, if you do encounter red tier gear while you still haven't unlocked it, whether you're like Kaleido rank 6 or below or something like that, right? In that case, I would advise to grab the few pieces that you see, but overall, in this shop, I would highly advise you to avoid buying anything unless you are basically spending IRL money on coins and you have like an infinite supply through it, because trust me, you can burn all your coins super easily. I only have a stash of 2 million because I am prepared to build any emergency character that I may need, but yeah, trust me, I could burn that 2 million in like the next 10 minutes and I would be able I won't be able to do anything, right? So for the cat shop, I would highly recommend skipping pretty much everything unless you see high tiered gear for the first few days that you are playing. And next up, we have the Battle Pass shop. So in the Battle Pass shop, you will have this currency called milestones, right? You can get 200 of them fully free to play. You can get another 200 if you purchase the first edition of the Night Pass. Now, I'm not sure how it works with the second one because I never bought it, but I can see that it shows 200 hair and 200 hair. So if you do get additional 200 from buying this pass, in total, it means you can get 600, which will boost your progress a lot, right? But when it comes to this shop, right, it has a lot of premium currency. Or other premium items, but the currency is super premium that you don't want to be buying an incorrect thing, right? So just to get it out of the way, the last 3 items, so the summons and the energy cores, unless you're doing some sort of a weird no summon challenge or whatever, or no nat 5 challenge, you should forget about buying these completely, right? These are very, very inefficient for the price. Mostly you're gonna be looking at the first 2 items, which are essentially skill ups. First one for your unit, second one for your Rememento, which is like these shards. And then there's 6 limited Remementos that you actually cannot summon, right? You are not able to summon them from the regular or the premium banners. As you can see right here, they don't actually show up in the odds. However, you can buy them from the Pity shop, right? Or from the Spark shop, whatever you wanna call it. So the way you acquire these is up to you, right? Personally, I would prefer buying them with the Battle Pass shop, right? And some of the Remementos in here are very, very OP, right? So the first thing, if you don't have these yet, these are the Remementos that I will focus on, right? The first one being this one, Tracing and Combining Evidence. This Rememento is a support Rememento, and essentially this is a very, very strong Rememento, first of all, for Arena, right? Because in a lot of cases, you will have a support unit in Arena, such as Diana, such as Pluto, such as Stein, and just getting that extra mana at the start of the battle can really allow you to use a lot of more expensive skills, right? And on top of that, if you use this trace with units that can cycle their own turns, for example, Shutain, Diana, all of that. I personally use it on Shutain the most, right? But it works on pretty much every support unit. You will be able to cycle absolutely insane amounts of mana in any PvE content, and yeah, even if you're especially able to level it up past level 1, it's gonna be huge, right? I use it at level 1, it's already able to absolutely like increase the amount of mana that I get. It's gonna be amazing, right? The next Rememento I will highly recommend buying after this one, right, will be this one. This is a very good general attack-based Rememento if you do not have any better options, right? Because at level 1, it's essentially in Arena, for example, if you are taking turn 1, and in majority of cases you will be if you plan on winning the fight, that is just essentially free 12.5% damage. And if you level it up to max, that's gonna be 25%. This is the main Rememento I use on pretty much all my DPS units that have to deal with AoE damage, right? Because it's just absolutely massive for overall DPS. It also has healing if you fall below 50% HP. That part I don't really care about, but when you move turn 1, or especially in PvE content where you are usually above 50% HP, that's just free damage. But only if you do not have any other DPS Rememento that will have a similar damage output, right? And the last Rememento from here that I would really recommend looking into is this one, called Between... I'm not even gonna read that name, forget it. But yeah, this one is more PvE based, but this one is a debuffer type, and it is a really good Rememento if you want to use it on units like Libertas, units like Agnes, and essentially, for me, right, the effect hits is whatever, right? The main thing I use it for is the increased damage taken, because with any attack, this includes also basic attacks that that unit does, it has the chance to apply this, and this is a huge debuff when it comes to boss battles, right? For example, Libertas, not a big fan of it on PvE content, right? But if you do, for example, second skill and defense break, and then it follows up with this, you are increasing your damage probably like double the initial amount that you would do, right? Just with those two debuffs. So yeah, highly recommend looking into this one if you are particularly interested in doing high level PvE content. Now for the other 3 Remementos, I have a few of them. None of them are really like game breaking, right? So for those, really have to decide based on how many of these milestones you are able to get. If you can get like 600, you can start to slowly save up for some. But overall, the main priority month over month will be to buy this particular dupe, right? You really want to focus on character dupes more than the Rememento dupes, right? Because Rememento dupes, yes, they're nice. You can use Remementos on multiple different units, right? But character dupes, once you skill up a correct skill on a unit, it can make or break the character. So I would really focus on the character dupes a bit more than the Rememento dupes, right? So overall, once you bought at least this one, and based on your situation, this and this one, these are the only two items you really want to be buying. Character dupes as the main priority, and Rememento dupes as the second priority if you do have the paid Rememento pass. Okay, and now the event shop. This one I'll try to fly through a bit faster, right? Because here's the deal. With event shop, you can, if you farm enough, you can buy out everything, right? Except, well, the unlimited coins. But overall, not all of these items are super game breaking, right? So here's the deal on what I should be buying first, right? So first of all, pulls, right? Limited pulls and then the standard pulls. These should be like the very first item you buy usually. However, if you have just started the game, which majority of you did, right? What I would do is first I would focus on buying this gear, right? Pretty much all of the sets here, because here's the deal. The 5 pulls you can get here, they're really good, right? But they're not gonna give such big impact at the start of the game. Whereas with gear, right, if you're comparing that type of gear compared to something like green or blue tier gear, where you barely have any substats, where the main stat is like 3 times lower than of a red tier gear, you should definitely look into purchasing the gear first, because the difference in gear between this one and much lower tiers is absolutely massive. And even a critical set on a healer is gonna be very, very useful just from the pure stats that it gives. This early on, right? If you are already able to farm yellow tier gear, or maybe looking into like farming red tier gear dungeons by now, this of course loses a little bit of value, but early on gear is something I would grab, especially for the first event shop when you start the game. But yeah, after that, the natural progression will be the summons, both of them, right? Very good value overall in here. Next up, what I would really focus on is the stones right here, right? These are one of the rarest items in the game. Up to this day, I've been farming for 5 months. I've been farming these dungeons for a month almost, and I'm still running out of them a lot, right? You need a lot for upgrades. So yeah, all of these stones, especially the ones that you are using the most, right? For example, if you're using an attacker a lot, go for the attacker ones. If you're using support a lot, go for the support a lot, right? So yeah, stones will be the next priority, right? After that, it really depends on what you are missing the most, right? I personally prioritize coins quite a bit, right? Especially the limited ones, because I usually run out of coins at this moment the most. When it comes between these three, right, equipment materials is the most important focus, because XP potions and XP books, you will build up plenty of stock, right, later on, right? I can just quickly show you the backpack. You will see that with equipment, I have plenty of level 0 equipment. I'm just running out of stones to power them up with. Whereas with XP items, you can see, for example, green tiers, yeah, thousands, dozens of thousands, and you will eventually stock up on a lot of them, right? So definitely early on, I would say XP books is a decent purchase, right? But later on, honestly, if you're looking more into the future, I would recommend maybe holding on a bit with them. And after that, with whatever currency you have left, naturally you want to buy the rest of the items, right? Based on how much you farm. So these ones are kind of useful. You will stock up on a lot of these eventually, but very good value in the event shop. So again, when starting out, when building some units, definitely make sure to look into these eventually, right? After that, coins, honestly, coins, buy whenever you want, right? They're always good. I personally buy them as a priority, but I think at the start of the game, you will have quite a few coins, so you can hold on for a bit. And food, really optional, right? It is quite expensive for the price here, at least. But the food is always gonna power up the friendship of the featured unit. So for example, Ivy is featured right now, and as you can see, it is the same food used for her, right? So that one is definitely not necessary, but if you have a spare currency, I would recommend buying it as well. And now lastly, let's talk about the arena shop. This one is very, very simple, right? There's only a few items that you can buy in there, and to not hold you up for too long, here's the deal. Limited items, you want to buy all of them, right? I would start out with the stamina items, right? After that, go for both of the pulls, right? Premium first, limited second, right? Buy out the coins, insane value for the coins that you see here, and then you are left with 3 items that you can buy infinitely, right? You can buy the equipment upgrade items, you can buy XP potions, or you can buy XP books. From these ones, very simple, right? Forget the XP potion, forget XP books, only buy these. You will have plenty of XP books, you will have plenty of potions, you will always lack these. And yeah, arena shop again, very simple. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, hope this helps you out, and yeah, peace.